This is a SnapEd New York video presentation.
Hi, I'm Justine, a nutrition educator with the SNAP Education and Obesity Prevention Program. Part of my job is helping people make the healthy choice an easier choice. I help people do things like make delicious, healthy meals at home, learn how to eat healthy on a budget, and make shopping for healthier foods easy and fast. Today we're going to make one of my favorite dishes.
Today, we're going to make one-pan chicken Alfredo. It will take us about 30 minutes, and we're only going to use one pan. My family loves this dish, and it's become a real frequent flyer on our dinner menus. This recipe is a great example of how easily whole grains fit into a healthy meal. My plate shows us our 5 food groups: fruit, vegetables, protein, grains, and dairy. The portions on the plate also help us remember what our portions should be at most meals and snacks. Half of our plate should be fruits and vegetables at most meals and snacks. Evidence shows that people who consume fruits and vegetables as part of a regular diet have reduced risk of chronic diseases. Half our grains each day should be whole grains. Consuming whole grains can help us reduce our risk of heart disease and high blood pressure. This is because they contain many vitamins, minerals, and fiber. The fiber found in whole grain foods, fruits, and vegetables helps our body by acting like a street sweeper. Once eaten, it moves through our digestive system, picking up anything that our body doesn't need. Then it takes it right out with our body's waste. Which other foods are whole grains? Brown rice, quinoa, whole grain bread, shredded wheat cereal, and popcorn are just a few examples. You can find out if a food is a whole grain by checking the ingredient list on a food package. Look for the word whole. That tells you that the product contains all 3 parts of the grain and has not been refined or enriched. All of its naturally occurring nutrients are still there. Remember, strive to make half of your grains whole grains each day. This recipe is a great place to start because you can use whole grain pasta in place of traditional white flour pasta. For our recipe today, we will be using whole grain pasta, broccoli, chicken, milk, Parmesan cheese, garlic powder, chicken broth, flour, and basil. We use a variety of food groups in this recipe. Pasta is a grain, and we chose whole grain at that. Whole grains provide long-lasting energy and are filled with fiber. Chicken is a protein food, which helps our body build strong muscles. We'll also use broccoli in our dish. Broccoli is a vegetable. It's part of the dark green veggie subgroup. You can enjoy broccoli's health benefits whether it's fresh or frozen. Both are great choices. I like to use frozen broccoli in the winter because it's cheaper. It's also pre-cut up, which makes the meal even faster to prepare. We'll be adding some milk and cheese in our dish as well. Those are dairy foods. They are calcium-rich and can help build strong bones. When choosing broccoli, look for broccoli that has a deep, rich color. Make sure that the buds are close together, not yellow or opening like flowers. Rinse your broccoli well and go ahead and start to chop it. You can cut it any way that you're comfortable with. I like to just cut the florets right off the stump of mine, and I'll save the stump for later. You can use it to flavor soup stocks or anything like that. Broccoli is a fiber-rich food. It's part of our dark green veggies subgroup that most Americans don't consume enough of. Broccoli's vitamins and minerals help our heart stay healthy. They help our body stay strong, and they give our body everything it needs to be its best. We should try to make half of our plate fruits and vegetables each day, and broccoli is a great way to get that started. So now we'll get started with our recipe. We've got our large skillet over medium heat, and we've got a little bit of oil heating in our pan, just enough so that our food doesn't stick. We've got
1 cup of cooked chicken breast. You can use any kind of chicken that you like. You can use canned chicken, you can use chicken thighs, however you like to do it. Pre-cooking the chicken or using already cooked chicken, like a rotisserie chicken or canned chicken, makes the recipe really easy to make because it comes together so quickly. Now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour to our skillet. We'll also add low-sodium chicken broth. Whenever you can, choose the lower sodium option. Most Americans consume too much sodium in their diet from convenience foods and prepared packaged foods. Having too much sodium in your diet can be linked to things like heart disease, high blood pressure, and other chronic diseases. Next in our recipe, we're going to be adding 1 3/4 cup of low-fat milk. You can use any milk or non-dairy beverage that you choose. Milk is a great choice because it gives us protein and calcium.
Did you know that all dairy milks will have the same amount of protein, calcium, and vitamin D? The only difference is going to be the amount of fat. Whole milk will have the most fat, and skim or non-fat milk will have the least fat. All that does is change the amount of calories per 8-ounce cup that you take. So you can choose low-fat milk or whichever milk is best for your family.
Now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. You can use garlic powder or fresh garlic, whichever you have on hand. Both are going to be great choices. Next, we're going to add basil to our dish. I'm all out of dried basil, but I happen to have fresh basil on hand. I've washed it, and now I'm going to snip it right into the pan. Just like garlic, using spices and herbs like basil is a great way to add flavor to a dish without adding any extra salt. It also adds a beautiful bright green color. Now we're going to add our whole grain penne pasta. We have 3 cups of pasta here. That's almost a whole box. So we're going to go ahead and pour it in. Whole grain pasta is a great choice in this recipe because we want to try to make half of our grains whole grains each day. You may need a bit more broth or water for using whole grain noodles. Whole grain noodles are full of fiber, vitamins, and minerals that will help you stay feeling fuller longer. I'm going to move our heat up to about medium-high now to start to bring our broth and our milk to a boil so that our noodles will cook. Once our milk and broth are brought to a boil, I'm going to put a cover on it, a lid, and let it simmer for about 20 minutes until our noodles are tender. Alright, our noodles are nice and tender, but they're still a little bit al dente, which means to the tooth. Now we're going to add in our 2 cups of broccoli. Each head that we had cut up earlier gave us about 1 cup. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in our pot. Broccoli is a yummy way to get more dark green veggies. Eat a variety of fruits and vegetables. Different fruits and vegetables do different things for our body. They all have vitamins and minerals and fiber, but their benefits are as different as they are. Did you know that we should be consuming 2.5 cups of vegetables per day to stay healthy and prevent chronic diseases like diabetes, obesity, and heart disease? To change up which vegetables you use in this dish, you can get really creative. You can use things like shredded carrots. My family sometimes likes to put in low sodium, diced canned beets. It makes it a really fun pink color. You can also add in things like mushrooms or zucchini. There's really no limit to the amount of vegetables you can add in a dish. Now that our broccoli is stirred in with our chicken and our noodles, we're going to go ahead and put the lid back on and let the broccoli get just a bit more tender. Our broccoli is a beautiful bright green. It's gotten a little bit more tender. We're going to add in 1 cup of Parmesan cheese. Parmesan cheese adds flavor and a little bit of saltiness to this dish, so avoid adding any additional salt to this dish. You can see that Parmesan cheese has stirred right in and has made this dish deliciously creamy. Now we'll just top it with a little bit of black pepper and we'll be ready to serve. You can use other herbs and spices to make this dish even more flavorful. If you like a little heat in your dishes, try adding crushed red pepper flakes. And there you have it, one pan chicken Alfredo.
Thanks so much for joining me today as we made one pan chicken Alfredo from foodhero.org. One serving of our recipe is 3/4 of a cup, and it provides our body with 220 calories, 15 grams of protein, and 8 grams of fat. Now that you used whole grain pasta in a delicious and healthy recipe, you can try changing out one of your other grain choices, like rice or cereal, to a whole grain choice, like brown rice or shredded wheat cereal. Don't forget to read that ingredient label and look for the word whole. I hope you enjoy this delicious dish.
Thank you for joining us today. We know the healthy choice isn't always the easiest choice, but small changes can make a big difference. Start today by getting involved with SNAP Ed New York. This program is free for those who qualify or receive SNAP benefits. We want to help you save time, save money, and eat healthy. Learn how SNAP Ed can make a difference in your life. For more information and to find your local program, visit snapedny.org. This material was funded by USDA's Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. SNAP. This institution is an equal opportunity provider.